Last time we played, you found the ruins of Silental Tower. Long destroyed. A message left behind for someone that was expected to arrive. Solving the puzzle, a stairway is opened down that goes down into the depths. The scent of dust and stale air wafts up from the deep. No one's been here for a long time.
Oh, shit. Okay. Hey, before we go down, guys, I should probably clarify something real fast. I come from this tower, sort of. I think I'm not sure. There's a lot of things I don't know. Whatever happened here all those years ago, my parents, Gwen Mulwood, they worked here. I don't think it was voluntary. And then something happened that allowed them an opportunity to escape, and they told me that they grabbed me along the way. Mom didn't tell me this until shortly before we left Shepherd's End, and I just assumed that if I was here, then maybe my parents were also kidnapped and brought here as well. So I'm becoming less and less convinced of that being an actuality at this point, but I just figured that we should all be on the same playing field at this point.
Yeah, as the parent factor, I know Gwen and Mulkwood, rose you up and everything, but the other folks you've been seeing around here, they ain't your dad and your folks and stuff. They look a lot like you, but are these your biological family? All the other,
I
folk around?
I don't know. I don't know who that message was for. I don't know what a magister is. I don't know anything about this place. I thought, I want to find answers to that memento device that we'd learned about, but I had also hoped to find something about my birth family, but I'm not sure I'm gonna get those answers here.
We are here for you, Ez. I just wanted to ask if there's anything else you knew about the other Genasi folk around here. But we will 100%, Peach kind of looks around at the rest of the crew. Come here this far with you all. Just finding out that you're some kind of time clone and really going to make us be less friends with you.
We don't know what that means. That's... I... Just... Let's just head down and just... Yeah. I just let me go first, I guess.
Wait, hold on. Before we do...
Yeah, hang on. Go ahead, Ava, you can go first, but I just didn't want Ez to head off on his own without, some good luck. And she'll clap her arm on his shoulder and cast heroism, but Ava can do her thing.
Quick pause real quick. Alright, do all that again.
Alright, as Esmond is turning, Peach kind of grabs him by the shirt near his shoulder and says, Hey, we got to get you ready before you go off anywhere, all right? We're not losing anybody else to some weird time dynamic, okay? It's only been, 4 days since, my boyfriend, probably died of old age at 1,000 years ago, okay? We're not just letting you go down all, I was secretly a time clone, and look at all these people here look like me. No, we'll all figure this out together, all right? And just because you're a time clone doesn't mean we don't love you. We care all about everybody.
Peach?
Yeah.
Did you say boyfriend? When did that happen?
Well, you all weren't there for that moment, okay? As right before Sound disappeared, none of you remember it, and I can remember it exactly how I want to.
Oh.
Mine's the only accurate memory. You all know that. Mm-hmm.
Still trying to move stealthily down the stairs while everyone's talking, and then she ends up tripping on a root and just hits her head against the corner of the door. Fuck.
Peach continues a little bit toward Esmond. So, what are all these? And she says the bit about Shalati and Ixalan. So Shalati and Ixalan, they're twins, right? So they look the same. I mean, like, not if they grew up as much, but born at the same time, right? Same biological folks. But these all folk around here look like you, but they're all different ages. This ain't just a Genasi thing, right? These are different Esmonds of different Esmond ages. Right? Did I figure it?
Only seen the one other Esmond looking guy right now. I mean, everyone else.
Yeah, only so to clarify, everyone has seen the old man speak.
Oh, it was
and
only the other ones that we...
Yeah, you.
I thought we all saw the other little ones. The other folks running around. That was your bird.
Well,
Wait, no, who saw? Who saw? I thought it was
we all
like
saw.
Ishalon.
Islan. Okay. Anyway,
Maybe-
Peach will comment on how much the guy looked like us.
Well, she described it.
Before
Funny
Space.
that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. All right. So are these all your family, your folks, or are they just other Genasi? Or
Esmond actually is kneeling down, pulling his satchel aside, as he's speaking to you. I don't know. I didn't know about this tower until, a handful of weeks ago, and the details I know of it are little to non-existent. I knew something bad had happened, and then Vithedrian had clarified that there was a raid on this tower, almost 20 years ago, but that's what I know is about what all you know as well. And Esmond is pulling out some items and throwing them towards Fane.
do you think through an attack? Do you think the fella who talked to us through magic is that you from the future past as?
I have no idea. That sounds... It's, even by the standards of everything that we've dealt with recently, that sounds ridiculous. So, no, I don't think that. That might be...
Does it sound ridiculous? You just had someone when you go back
It does not sound ridiculous to
1,000
me, okay?
years
I
and
gotta-
found an entire town with statues of almost everyone here.
Exactly what Ixalana's saying. This is
What if
not
it's
any
not
more
time?
ridiculous than what we've been dealing with.
No, but what if it's alternate as not time? Because wouldn't time, if you stole yourself from the past, you would cease to exist in the future, and that seems like a self-limiting sort of cycle. You couldn't steal your own baby self, right?
I don't think that would really be the case. Otherwise, Silental would not have existed for us if he also lived in the past. Because
Also,
the conditions
can't
that
one
led to him
steal?
being born would be different.
No, but his
Different
timeline is bisected. He didn't get born in the past. Adult him was sent to the
So
past.
that basically
and
just means then that different times are different realities to begin with, so it doesn't make a difference.
Oh, that is true. There was a different us that we don't remember being.
Are we gonna stand up here and talk all day, or are we gonna go down this tower?
As everybody's been talking, Doc, when it was casting some magic, and like Esmond afterwards, starts taking a couple things out of her bag and handing them over to Thane.
He's not a pack mule. What,
Thane
is it
just
just too
has-
heavy?
Fane just has arms full items. I can carry it for you.
Well, she's handing him a potion of greater healing.
We appreciate you for more than your muscles, I promise.
Also, we need you to stay alive with us. So, take this weapon shield for your own benefit.
Just tell us a little bit about what you're handing to Fane here. Is taking item after item that you pile into his arms.
Item after item. It's two things that happen to be in my possession. He is getting the how do you pronounce it? Aegis of Brunhilde, and Gromp's Tallbreaker, and I'll post those in the item change chat.
Interesting. What do they look like? What are they?
I don't know. They were given to us randomly.
But I mean, like, what's the item?
The Aegis of Brunhilde is a magical shield that has the emblem of Brunhilde on it, I suppose. And oh my god! And Gromp's Tallbreaker is a really big battle axe.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, you hand the items from him, his eyes go wide, he takes his little hatchet, puts on his belt. Takes the big shield first, I guess, and looks at it. Symbol of Brunhilde. He throws it onto his back. And then he takes the big two-handed axe, hefts it, and kind of gets a sense of the balance. Says, hey, this will be good. I'll keep watch. Is there anything dangerous? Do you think we can expect dangerous things down there like we've seen before?
None of us have any idea what to expect down there. I'm looking for notes. That's all. Outside of that, I don't know what we could anticipate to see.
Now, if we see any of these time clones, I'll put the axe in them.
No!
No.
No. But do expect trouble. But don't kill a thing that could be a good thing.
Yeah. Consider them Esmond's family, all right? It's a complicated thing. Lots of things in our friend group is complicated, but they're all Esmond-ish, so don't kill any of them.
Please don't just... Okay. Esmond starts
just
heading
bring up the
downstairs.
back. Bring up the back and keep an eye out behind us.
As Esmond's about to head off, she gets a slap along with on the shoulder along with Thane, and the three of them have a few more hit points that I'll put in there. And yeah, Ava hands over to him a potion. She says, "Drink this. If you get injured, it'll help heal you." And then she takes out a ring that used to belong to a very tall fellow she knew, and hands it to him and says, "And this should also be useful if anyone else gets hurt and you don't know how to heal them. You could use it yourself if you needed to, but you just..."
You think it puts them to good use?
Doc, are you proposing? And Casey straightens the great sword strapped to his back, and it immediately falls back into the position it was in. He says, "All right," and he speaks a low guttural word, and the rumbling goes out to a few of his friends, namely Ez, Araya, Ishtalan, and Doc.
Nice. As Casey turns around, and if he's walking away, the sword that was he'd set and then fell again shifts itself back towards where he shifted it to and where it's supposed to be, so it doesn't knock on the corner as he's rounding it.
Nice.
Oh, now you include me, she says during the mind link with Casey.
Well, if you'd figure out how to hear when you're invisible, then...
Yes, but I can hear this when I'm invisible.
Right, that's...
So yeah. This is how I hear when I'm invisible. You gotta help me. Include me.
Yeah, no, that's what I did.
Maybe if he didn't do that, he wouldn't try to go invisible so often. It is rich coming from her, but...
Is your head feeling okay?
Mine?
I don't know what
Yours.
you're talking about.
This? Ez's head, probably. Ez, is your head feeling okay?
Right, you can see
She'll
that
fall.
Ishtalan has like a little mark on her forehead.
Oh! I can just... Do you need just... No, but let me fuss. It's my... Me or Ava, you pick one. It's one of us. We fuss.
Basically, if she doesn't stop like trying to poke it, she just takes her hands and then just like it's going to tap them between both of hers and then just holds them until she stops messing.
She'll breathe a minute. As you wish.
All right, come on, let's follow us.
You wind down the stairs, going deep beneath the ground. And before too long, the stairs wind down to a landing with a stone door. Above it seems to be a blue crystal faceted into the wall just above the door. And as you each approach, there's a blue flash. Everybody roll perception. You have advantage. No, just perception.
Or is this civilization?
Ooh. Not a
this
natural 20,
wilderness or
but I got
civilization?
20.
Visual.
Is this wilderness or civilization?
Civilization.
Level 12 already paying off.
Yeah, that's definitely Casey. Maybe you're the one closest. As the blue gem flashes, and it's a bit blinding for a moment to all of you, Casey, you catch Esmond out of the corner of your eye. You can see it's almost as though there are multiple layers of him stacked on top of each other, all just a little bit different for a moment, and then they all fade, and the door opens.
Casey rubs his eye a little bit and lead the way.
What was that?
Following you.
Yeah, let's go. Esmond is heading down the stairs. I placed him first unless anyone like rushes past him or pushes past him. Esmond is at the front.
Eyeing Shalati. Or Shalon.
Starting with Esmond and then moving through the room. You each pass through the doorway. Thane, left alone on the stairs for a moment. He kind of turns back, takes a few steps backwards to the door, keeping an eye on the rear. Moving into the next chamber, which you immediately find yourself in, seems to be a large laboratory. You see chalkboards, strange devices. Part of the ceiling is collapsed, and there's dust, debris all over the floors. But you see classic equipment for experimentation, beakers, some of them fallen and broken, but some of it all still in good working order. You see a couple of strange devices you've not seen. They seem to be tinkering in origin, made of brass, some bits of crystal. They're pretty large, and you can see that the methodology of workmanship is, well, as when you might describe it as older, like previous iterations of tinkering technologies. You'd see two doors on a door on the western side of the room and a door on the southern side of the room, along with a variety of looks like workstations, desks, things like that. In addition, with a few places people might lounge. Soft, comfortable chairs that have broken down with time, and like the leather has been partly degraded. It's very clear. Again, no one's been here for a very long time.
Does it look as though... I know that we didn't take like an in-depth look at the tower above ground, but does this area look as though it has been raided, like destroyed, burned, attacked in any way?
No, you saw a lot of evidence of battle above, blast marks from explosions and things like that. This seems to simply be neglect and the effects of the earthshakes.
I'm immediately looking for letters, journals, anything of the sort.
Okay, so you see, Esmond goes off, seems to start looking through drawers and likely examining devices. Give me an idea of what everyone's doing as you come into this room.
2 doors leading out, you said?
Door on the west, door on the south.
I think Ishalon kind of takes a cursory look around to see if there's any interesting looking potions, but that's on the way to checking out the doors and what's on the other side.
Are you going towards west or south?
Whatever's closest. Are we coming in for the north? Okay, west.
Doc's just gonna help Esmond sort of look around the room for journals and such. Kind of has an idea of what he might be interested in.
Yeah, Casey will look in. He'll stay somewhat close to Ez, kind of shadow him a bit, but he'll look in places that don't seem interesting, like between the interesting spots.
Beth is trying not to be in the way. She's not touching anything, and she's kind of like sticking close to Esmond and following him, keeping an eye out for danger, but she's not. She's just standing a few feet behind him.
Yeah, Casey will tilt one book on the shelf, put it back, tilt the next one.
I think remembering one of the last sort of trick chambers they were in, Peach doesn't fully enter the room. She stays on the bottom step and sort of just sits there quietly and watches her friends explore for a minute.
Yeah, let me have... Esmond, roll investigation, and just investigation. Casey as well. Or what's her ad?
She was given so little direction from Gwen that she'll just, whatever area of the room that the boys are in, the girls are in, she's in like an opposite area. So she's going to look with fresh eyes another place.
Okay, there's a
She
room on the
really
south.
helped last time, so yeah.
So Ishtalon's moving to the door on the west. You can move to the door on the south if you want to go where no one's been yet.
Yes, I love it. Yes, south.
Sounds good.
Just to check, we don't have a map, right? This is the area of the mind.
Yeah, no, we super don't.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Just want to make sure that roll 20 is not glitching for me.
I just did the same check, Allie.
Same.
Ava was helping me search. Would I get advantage for investigation, or is she going to roll separate as well?
No, we'll do separate rolls.
$37.
Yeah, so Esmond, you're immediately attracted to a device.
Araya.
What?
Oh, excuse me.
Predictive text.
Yeah, you're immediately attracted to a device that has a slight light blue glow about it. It seems to be mostly crystalline in origin, brass apparatus.
I'll take a closer look at it. It doesn't look volatile in any way. Like if I get near it, it won't like explode on me, will it? Or any of the devices around it?
It doesn't seem to. No, you've approached it. I'm just basing on an investigation roll here. You've approached it with caution. You can tell that it has some sort of power source. It's giving off a faint blue glow. You're not sure of the nature of the device yet, but it does seem to be. It uses like a crystalline technology that you've read about in books, but you've not really seen much of yourself. You know that it's something that's more prevalent in the capital.
It's not powering anything, is it? It just appears to be a power source of some kind?
It more than likely has a power source.
I see. Esmond will stop in his tracks and just kind of aloud to no one, and actually, no, kind of pulling Ava, motioning Ava over to him to come take a look. This is...
roll Arcana, actually. Because you might have read something about this sort of thing in the past.
30.
Ooh, 30 Arcana, yeah. You've seen diagrams of something like this, and this seems like an iteration on an idea, but it's a storage device of some kind. It might store information, or and information is actually the best way to describe that.
Yeah. Esmond will definitely motion for Ava to come closer. He'll just kind of, not excitedly, but like there is almost like a playfulness that's overpowered by his expression, but like just like an overall excitement and what he's described as like this.
As you motion to Ava's sort of in the middle of also sort of investigating, and you see you catch just in time as she begins to bump something that she probably shouldn't bump, and then she does. There are blue crystals at the corners of the rooms that ignite, and a flickering, translucent blue image appears once again, of old Genasi man, seated at a desk. And you can see that there are the impression of books around him. It's a reconstruction of a desk that's collapsed. So like you can see what it used to look like in a way as he sits there. He begins to speak and he says, and they call me traitor, chronomancer, but they don't understand that I'm advancing the work. They talk of catastrophe, but they don't understand the catastrophe that could be avoided. There's been no one in the archival records that has made advances in this field, aside from the contributions of one named Volkskrieg centuries ago. My chronograph alone could change the very way we study, the very way we think about things to come. I just need to find proper carrier signal. If only I could have begun sooner. And that vanishes.
Casey returns the book to its upright position with kind of a smug grin on his face.
To clarify, that was almost like a hologram that was beamed from the four corners of the room, not the specific device that Esmond was looking at.
Not the device you were looking at, the corners of the room.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, but it seemed to be been triggered by one of two things. Either Casey's pulling of the book, or the thing that Ava bumped into. It's impossible to know.
Impossible to know. We'll never figure it out. There's no way.
I mean, Casey knows. You gotta ask him if you want.
Yeah, well, gotta watch it
He's
there,
a bully.
Casey.
Okay. I'm starting to think that might be the blue figure from these letters with Megran. Okay. So did anyone understand anything that he was talking about?
He wished he'd started sooner. He's
I suppose if he's a chronomancer, couldn't he have done that?
I think that maybe this is why.
He said something. He said the name Volkskrieg. Does that? Ava starts thinking about history lessons, wishing Sal was around.
Oral history.
Could I roll history with her?
Yeah.
And anybody who heard that roll history?
Anyone who's
With
ever
mine.
gone to school can roll history.
Blazing +1. Oh, shit.
Natural 20, 29.
Nice.
Woohoo.
Oh, wow. That's a really good roll.
Ooh, Peach was never good at school.
Yeah.
Yes, Esmond. Esmond, you look upon a text, and just as Kabeth knocks over this cup of coffee. No, just kidding. Esmond, you recall from some of your own studies, very incomplete information, but you've read the name Volkskrieg before. With a natural 20, this was a wizard involved in early arcane research associated with an ancient kingdom called Morgus Vol. And that's in fact where part of what you've seen regarding the crystalline technology that you're seeing here in the room. It was in association with that kingdom was the one who had first advanced that kind of technology. Those entries, those historical entries and arcane research entries are they coincide with advances made by Lilith, the Queen of Volks.
Volkskrieg, he was he was a wizard that was associated with research into old kingdom that actually is related to, and he motions over the device that he's standing next to, over this that Queen Lilith actually took advanced further. In fact, this device, this technology is not something that we see out here. This is something that we'd find in the capital, but not in a basement under a destroyed tower necessarily.
Wait. But it's chronomancy, right? And that wouldn't be anywhere in the kingdom.
Well, the way that he sounded in that message, the way that he described himself, he said that they called him Chronomancer.
And traitor.
And traitor, yes, which, study of necromancy.
And in that sequence, we usually seems to me like an association between traitor and chronomancer, so one gets the sense he was not committed to this.
I'm stuck on the chronomancer part. It doesn't sound like that he identified with it. He may have been studying chronomantic power, but it doesn't sound like it was for himself necessarily.
He also said he had a chronograph.
Yeah, I have something to read time, but most people have clocks nowadays, so I don't know what that would be for. I'm trying to be funny. I'm actually incredibly nervous right now. Sorry.
Is now the time?
Wait, a chronograph is not a clock? Is it fancier than a clock?
If I had to guess, it's much fancier than a clock.
And it might still be here, in case he goes back to look.
Esmond is going to go back to the device, and he's going to follow he's going to follow whatever it is connected to see if he can track it to whatever it is powering.
As you guys have searched around the room at this point, I'm just going to point out some particular items that you've probably realize are noteworthy. One of them seems to be a large device that takes up the entire space of a desk. It seems to have a variety of dials and a variety of apparatus you might describe as like antennae. It also contains some crystal brass technologies, like the other things. There is what we'll call the storage device that, as when you've found, it has a power source contained within. From what you can tell, you can lift it from its pedestal, and while it might stop recording or transmitting whatever it's supposed to be doing, you realize it can be removed and taken from that spot. The role you did before, it is certainly a storage device for information, complex information, vast amounts of information. this crystalline technology that you've never had available in Shepherd's End, which you've only read about. Like entire libraries can be contained within a single device that you could hold in your hand worth of information. There are the 4 crystals at the corners of the rooms, and they seem to be associated with the device that Ava was near, which seems to be a recording device meant to record happenings here within the room. You're not sure. Definitely, well, at least projected here in the room. You're not sure where it might record from. But, and there's a variety of other laboratory equipment, a vast amount, stuff for working on alchemy, tinkering. You realize a lot of this is very high quality equipment, and working in the space, you clean it up a little bit. The equipment here is better than the equipment you've been carrying in your alchemy kit and your tinkering tools.
Okay, so how should we do this? Just focus on this room, or should some people go ahead and clear out others? Or
let me actually, you can read the results actually of those as well. So at this point, you were privy to what just happened, but also, Ishtalan, you're at the door to it leads into the west. Araya, you're at the door, it leads in the south. Neither of them seem to be locked, and you've checked to see if they might be trapped or something like that, and they don't seem to be. Yeah, Ishtalan, you push the door open, and what you reveal seems to be a large bedroom. There's another working desk, a variety of books. A quick glance on the wall seems to be these are the kind of books that like Esmond likes to read. And there's
fictional or history or arcane. You mean
arcane mostly, and history is things like that. None of it is. It all seems to be pretty run of the mill in terms of like the classic things you would be expected to do. But there is what seems to be what was probably once a large, comfortable bed at the far side of the room. It is dilapidated now. But yeah, all of the trappings that someone would need in order to live out their life.
Gonna investigate the wardrobe.
Okay. Yeah, pulling it up, and you see a variety of shirts, different cuts, different. They're all kind of like stuff like your parents might wear. The pants, you notice they're kind of flared, like at the bottom instead of tapering.
Slightly high in the waist, perhaps.
A lot of like ribbed shirts.
Thrifted. Actually, I think she would look around the desk and the bed to see if there's maybe like something that looks like a private journal, or someone might just, not a study journal, but just something like, I did this if she was prone.
You find like on the desk there are like some books of fiction and stuff like that. Book of poems.
What's this about ribbed shirts?
Only Ishtalan knows about it.
She finds a shirt that opens really low. Like it has sort of like a peasant blouse thing where the tie goes really low and doesn't really lace up very high. And she calls out, "Casey, I think I found this shirt that you'd like."
What?
It's got really puffy sleeves.
Ooh.
And it doesn't seem to lace up very well.
I mean, that would just be restrictive. Why would you want it to lace up higher than that?
You see a wad of white come flying out the door. And it flutters open to the ground because it's one of the aforementioned shirts.
While they're doing that, is it? Can I play around with the storage device and see if I can like access the information that's in it?
Okay, yeah, you start beginning that. Araya, you are at the door that leads south.
I'll take a peek.
Yeah.
Things seem quiet.
You push the door open, and inside you see seems to be a child's bedroom. For an older child, probably like 5 to 10-ish kind of age. Yeah, but smaller furniture, and there's some toys in there. There's like an old, looks like a wooden knight. It's lying on the ground. Everything in this place, sort of as though it was haphazardly left. But roll. Roll investigation.
Oh no.
Oh, it's your best thing. You're usually so good at this.
This room's a mess.
It's like my perception. It really just doesn't go great. I guess this one's for like a young kid. I don't know.
Could be for a halfling that likes toys.
It's just a room.
Casey holds up the shirt. Not surprising the verdicts did such a poor job raiding this place.
Alright, so Doc's looking over at Esmond as he's investigating the crystal. She's standing over near the other device that she bumped into. So she kind of is looking. If Esmond is distracted, she'll wait. But if he's distracted, she's just going to try to figure out the thing in front of her.
Yeah, you turn a knob, turn a dial. Experimenting, starting to get a feel for it, and roll investigation to see what we get.
I might, if I want to re-roll that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I will.
Right.
Slightly more serviceable.
Okay. As you're messing with it, there's a little brass display that kind of oscillates and displays different numbers, and it displays 2 potential entries. You could either do to entry 892 or entry 991.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going to write those down, and I'm going to let someone else do something while I think about something. So tell me what those were again.
892 and 991. There's no, as you look at it, you can't figure out, they seem, they're numbers, but there's no like dates attached to them or anything like that. It's just the numbers.
892 or 921, or whatever Chris said.
991.
991. She says aloud to the room. Okay, no takers. She picks the first 8, the lower.
The crystals through the corner of the room glow. You see what seems to be Esmond, but different. The hair is different. Clothes are different. You can see there's a scar on the cheek. And you look at the hand, all the fingers are there. The extractor's complete. Years before I ever could have done this without his help, without my help. The addition of having an assistant is going to progress the work more than I can express. This is truly exciting, and the opportunity to have a protege. Message ends.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, Esmond would have stopped his investigating of the device as soon as the message popped up to watch, and after the message ends, he's just kind of left staring up the empty space.
Does Esmond look?
How does Esmond look?
How old did this recording of this Esmond look?
Just maybe a few years older than the Esmond here with you now.
She looks over at Esmond and just says, I've got one more. Chris, what's the difference between those two numbers?
Mathematically? 99.
99 entries later, 99 years, days. You ready for it?
Beth pipes up. I figured it out. I know it. I understand. Esmond, you were a chronomancer, and you were experimenting with something, and you did something wrong, and you made yourself into a baby, and then your parents found you.
Yeah, I don't even think I need to play this last one.
No, you don't. I mean, it's very possible. It sounds like something out of a book, but maybe.
Everyone gets an inspiration.
Yeah, Ava doesn't turn on the last one just yet. She goes, why don't we try to look at the thing you're looking at, and we'll do this one after we
Play it.
I will say, Ava, you realize with your 18, you haven't found any other entries yet, but there are more other entries. You can tell by the system.
Okay. I figured it out enough to realize I found another one, but I think there are a lot more, or potentially a lot more. Alright, here's the next one. She plays it.
Which one are you playing? 991?
Yeah.
Again, you see a young Esmond, older than the version you've just seen. Maybe late 20s? Hair's tied back. You can see that there are burn marks on the upper arms. But still all the fingers. I've extinguished all of the possibilities. I know I can't be the only one. The only temporal resonance aura the device will connect to is my own. It's useless. Unless... Wait. And the entry ends.
That's it. I can look for more, but that's all I found so far.
Esmond is looking paler than usual. Looking a bit sweaty, too. He doesn't say anything, and he just goes back to looking over the device. And actually, before doing that, before going back to the device, he's actually going to God, I did not figure out how to flavor this. He's going to cast Enhanceability on himself and give himself Fox's Cunning.
Terrible question for you. What's it like?
And just go back to looking over the device.
Let's see. The keys. Nope. Yeah, Casey, as you are having a look at that bookshelf, you pull one of the books. You feel a bit of resistance and then a click. A hidden door slants open.
From the
Behind it.
in the entrance. You hear Peach go, "See, I knew there was gonna be traps."
Traps? No, more like secrets. I knew it.
You
The one time he
reveal
picks up a book.
behind the doorway on the eastern wall, or behind the bookshelf on the eastern wall, a hidden chamber. It contains some sort of device, but also it seems to be like a pedestal or a platform, low to the ground, large enough to stand on. Also, however, immediately catches your eye in the back of the room are a long row of liquid-filled, call them jars. Different sizes, some of them small, some of them 3 feet. The murky liquid contains organic shapes. You can't make them out.
Hey, let's maybe not go in there just yet.
And Ishalon pops her head out of the bedroom.
No, Casey's already taken a step in.
Yeah, the room itself seems to the entirety of it is some sort of apparatus. It's all focused around this platform, the center of the room. There are concentric circles of maybe like a ground crystalline on the floor and also matching on the ceiling.
Esmond, you hear in your head, "You're going to want to see this as."
You don't even get a response. Esmond is focusing on this device.
Esmond, go ahead and roll another investigation for me. Advantage if you have
With
Arcana.
advantage.
Actually, just regular, not advantage.
No, I have advantage. I have enhance ability.
Oh, yeah.
37 again.
Just barely.
What you're able to figure out is there probably is the potential to access whatever is being stored in this device, more than likely. It seems to be the intention. However, it seems to me to be in order to... it's going to be complicated work. It looks as though someone, if you have to guess, based on all the settings, someone was working on this as well before you, and they didn't solve it.
Okay, I'll place it gingerly back down where I found it and move next to the device that Ava is standing at.
So you're moving there.
Not even like stone cold focused, not even noticing the room that O has walked into.
What's everyone else doing?
If there's like a desk in the kid room, she's empty drawers, but kind of like, it's just kid stuff. Is there no unopened door?
Well, it seems as though you have found all the doors, unless there are more hidden doors.
Is there books in here? Like kids' primers or something? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that, a lot of sundry in that room, toys and educational materials, but you don't see anything truly rudimentary. Like, even, like, the toys are like...
Puzzles? Like those brain teasers?
Yeah, stuff like that.
This is not nice to do to a kid. Although, that's what I might do. She'll like... Araya's intelligence is not Great. She's gonna be fiddling with one of the puzzles as she comes out of the room. Wow, this one's tricky.
Esmond, roll charisma.
Oh no, that's my best thing. Oh, 18.
18. Yeah.
Ooh, good job.
As you see Array come out of the room with the toy, there's an immediate flare of emotion. You're not sure where it comes from, but you isolate it as being strange, and that's mine. She can't have that.
Ting ting.
Oh, Esmond walks over and snatches it from you before going back to the device that Ava's standing at.
What? You could
No, it's mine.
just ask.
It's mine. Leave me alone to this.
Okay, I'll be right back. She's gonna go back into the room and like stuff a bunch more of those tiny toys inside her bag for later.
Oh man, not even relying on the tail this time.
You're gonna want them is what she's thinking. Goodness sakes. She's just not gonna disturb you with it. You got shit to think about. They're S's, okay.
She just picked up a whole bunch of stuff to barter with Ez.
Blackmail, you mean?
Yeah, blackmail.
These are gonna be like argument enders. Oh, we really want to go that way? Well, what if I whoosh this?
Oh, no.
Ava, as has sort of walked over and is clutching the device next to her, the small toy or whatever, she starts to illustrate the at least small amount of her understanding of how she's going through the machine, and will demonstrate and at the same time be kind of moving aside to sort of let him take the lead on furthering the pursuit of trying to like sift through.
Yeah, what I think the two of you very quickly discover is there are many entries, but as you try another one, it looks as though the vast majority of them are corrupted. You just see some flickering blue, and whatever is supposed to be displayed is not coherent. However, you realize that the process of going through them, at least at the level which you understand the device, is simply going to be a rote exercise of like trying combinations on a lock that you don't have any way of solving. You will eventually get it. It just will take some time.
Okay, so do you wanna go through the random numbers, or do you want me to do that while you? She just sort of looks at the toy and looks them up and down.
Esmond notices you looking at the toy, and he kind of like does a double take at it in his hand and looks confused and just kind of shoves it into his satchel. No. There's too many other things that we need to look at right now. See if this device would be it could be safely removed from here. I think O had called me over to that room. I'm gonna go take a look.
Has Ava seen what's in that room? Just at a glance.
No, don't think so. Just so far,
Okay.
just Casey.
Okay, yeah. She's gonna keep looking at the device and try to figure out if there's a way to safely transport it. I think that was the question.
Just look into it, yeah.
While they're doing this, Ishtalan went back into the bedroom, and she is going to look for any hidden doors, compartments, etc. here as well. You know, shoving floorboards or pushing on the desk bits. Possible.
Okay. Roll perception.
One that.
Ooh, yeah, with a 29 as you're looking under the desk. You'll click as you open it up. A couple small items roll towards the front. One of them is very clearly a wand. Some of them are rings, some potions. I'll detail them later, but small items like that.
Or finding her and deciding that there's no more, she comes out of the room. See what everyone else is in it.
Can Casey see into those murky jars?
Move closer to investigate. Roll perception.
Yeah, he'll get as close as need be, up to putting his hands cupped against the glass. Perception, you said.
Yeah, as you move closer, press your face up against it. You rock it a little bit. There's a bit of movement in the water, and something drifts just close enough that you see a face. Then it drifts back into the dark.
Oh. Was it alive? Was it?
No.
Was it a familiar face?
Does not seem to be moving.
And you say there's a...
You recognize the color of the eyes.
Yeah. Esmond, you hear in your head. Actually, never mind. Maybe you don't want to see this.
Esmond's already walked over to the door.
Yeah, as you look back, you see Esmond standing in the doorway.
Three guesses as to what's in here. Not you, because you're standing right there. It's not you on those recordings either.
He does respond. He just starts walking around the room. And you said that there was a device in the center of the room, like a small platform?
The entire room seems to essentially be a device. At the center of the room is a platform that's about 2 feet or so in radius, circular, has some crystalline insets. You also see insets in the ceiling.
Gonna, without responding to just start investigating the room, see if I can divine the purpose of the space.
Okay. Yeah, you begin your investigation. It'll take a little bit of time. What's Peach doing?
Pete has been following very quietly behind her friends, uncharacteristically so. She was burned badly, literally and metaphorically, by the last time they explored a seemingly interesting space having to do with a friend. But she's clocking what everyone else is doing as they're going in and out of other doors. She's keeping a head count of her friends, making sure that everybody is coming back properly and with every part intact that she suspects. She's convinced this place is full of traps, and when things like the lights turn on, she visibly jumps. So she is, I think, probably tailing a few steps behind Esmond and Casey, not interfering with what they're doing and not looking to look closer, but there because she's convinced that the other shoe is going to drop very soon, and she wants to be there for backup when it does.
To be clear, Beth has been just a few feet behind Esmond this entire time and moves with him, so you'll also be probably next to Beth.
Dang,
Yeah, cool.
You got a entourage, boy.
It's a good
This
idea,
is gonna be-
babysitter.
Esmond looks over. Peach and Kabeth are both standing like 2 steps behind him, like, "How you doing?
Casey,
You feeling okay, buddy? How you feeling? Rough, huh? Yeah, existentially real bad."
Casey standing in front of the the murky
You get a bardic
incubation
inspiration.
Me or Esmond?
Esmond does, because I just made him feel bad.
Yeah, he glances over each of Ez's shoulders, Peach and Kabeth, and he's like, "There's only one Esmond clock, right? Just like there's only one orthoclase feldspar." Plus, that hologram had all its fingers. Definitely wasn't you.
Well, that happened after he became a baby again. So
No.
past him would have all of his fingers, but then he became a baby and then he lost his fingers now, so that makes sense.
Peach looks back and forth between Ez and the different jars, and then glances at Kabeth. I don't think that is as I'm with Casey. I think that maybe this place is sort of an Esmond factory. That maybe they kind of produce little Esmonds. And that Gwen, your mom and dad, is that they saved you from whatever this was. They rescued you.
Still doesn't change. Only one of you.
Yeah, that's true. You're the only one that wasn't, well, raised here.
Esmond is not responding to any of you. He's entirely focused on what he's doing right now.
She said there would be, like, weapons.
Can you imagine how anxious Ez would be if he grew up amongst other Esmonds? Thank the maiden, the Brunhilde, whomever, that he grew up around regular folk.
Casey.
That it works that way. Don't you think that maybe if he had grown up around other people exactly like himself, he could actually be a bit more secure?
I mean, I don't know. I figure, no, because kids should be able to like have a fun time living and learn at their own rate and all,
But it's always, even the one I knew was always the smartest of the class, and nobody could really quite understand him.
Yeah, but also our she nods to Esmond, got to go and do stupid shit with the rest of us, and got to have a drink of the wanderlust, and half an ale knocks him on his ass, and got to do shadow plays with Casey, and get shoved into the sea by whomever was bullying him that day. He got that. It seems like all these, whomever was leaving these messages, this was his whole everything. And it's nice that our got to have other things.
Casey steps over to the platform in the center of the room. What do you suppose this is for?
And roll investigation.
Rolling with advantage. $31.
Based on what you've seen in the room so far, this is really only a guess. The purpose of this device is to capture and project a temporal aura.
It's designed to give a person a temporal aura?
No. It seems to be designed to tune in to a specific one. And that might be something you can dial, right? Capture that signal and then project it. That's what you're at. And that's where you are kind of at this stage of understanding it.
Okay. You said that there were also like jars, like murky jars full of like stuff in those. Esmond would have taken a closer look at those during his investigation as well.
Yeah, Casey, you see has been moving closer to the jars.
If Casey's not doing anything, Peach would kind of grab Ez by the sleeve and say, "Don't look too close, Ez."
You would recognize this. This would not be the first time that you've seen Esmond in this kind of state, in the sense of like putting studies before everything else. He's very much in a state of like this is something that you would recognize from like early school days of racking to finish a project last minute or something. Like this is full focus, entirely 100% study, not taking in anything else surrounding him right now. And so when you try to like grab him a little bit, he either kind of pushes you off gently or like slides out of your grip.
Yeah, as slips out of her grasp, Peach goes, "Esmond, don't."
No, he'll be fine, Peach.
Yeah, taking a closer look at those jars.
You move closer. The surface, they're too murky to see into, so you have to lean close. It's when you're investigating, we'll say the largest of them. You're able to see the event sort of rocked where Casey had leaned close, pressed his face close against them. But in the largest one, just for a moment, you see drifting close enough to the glass to see it's your own face. Maybe 11 years old. And drifts back into the murky blue.
Good. Esmond pulls back, turns towards the doorway, and then brushes past all of you and finds a corner and begins to vomit.
Peach tails behind him and is going full former girl who worked at bar mode. "It's all right. You just, it's all right." And she's just kind of like providing him privacy while also assisting him.
Esmond will turn sharply and just not strongly, but he will shove you. Just give me a minute. Just stand over there. Just give me a minute. And he'll turn back around and just like fully has his palms pushed against the wall and is just facing down and just breathing heavily.
All right, we're gonna say you were in the other room. You're in the child's room. You come out just enough with stuff in your satchel. You see Esmond vomiting in the corner, and Peach is attending to him.
She's gonna clutch her bag. What happened? Do we need to leave?
No, it's just he had a shock. That all that over there is it's upsetting to see.
Oh, what? She'll like be patting his, unless somebody's already patting his back, but she's gonna kneel next to him and pat his back.
he sticks an arm out. He pushes you away.
Peach would kind of prevent Araya from getting closer if she is able to do that. Like, no, he said he wanted a space. He wants a space, and I don't think he. Peach kind of smiles a little bit at Araya. I don't think he'd want you to see him in such a state.
Oh, I've seen it worse. As the kids' room that where your toy. Maybe that's peaceful.
That's a little flask, uncaps a flask, puts it near Esmond on the ground, and smells very strongly of liquor.
Seeing this reaction that he had, Ava kind of stops investigating the things she's doing and sort of walks hurriedly into the other room to observe the stuff that everyone else has already seen.
Follows Ava after having deposited liquor there.
I assume she gasps when she sees the thing in the tube.
Yeah.
I think when you first come in, you see Casey stepping up onto that central platform. And I think Kabeth is still in there with him, unless she left with him, with Esmond.
I'll stick with Casey since Ez is attended.
Yeah, Casey will turn to Kabeth in the moments after he leaves and says, he'll be fine. And then he goes to step up on the central platform when Doc comes.
I am going to bodily stop you from doing that. You're going to have to fight me if you try to get past me.
Contested athletics versus acrobatics. You can choose.
I dodge.
Oh, no roll. He just dodges. No roll, guys.
Oh!
Ooh. Please describe Casey as you circumvent Kabeth's attempts and make your way to the platform.
Yeah, he goes to step up and hears her just over his shoulder and then ducks low as he's making the step, and she kind of rolls over his back as he slips right under and steps up onto it and turns back. See, it's fine.
I guess you find yourself standing on the platform as Kabeth stumbles to recatch her footing, and you're very aware of the concentric circles on the floor and the ceiling above you. There's a moment of tension. Which means all the lights in this room are off, and everything seems inert and quiet. But you get the distinct impression somebody stood here before you.
He looks down at his feet. Yeah, it's fine.
Are you sure this is a good idea? I mean, shouldn't you at least wait for Esmond to come back? Well, what if something goes really, really wrong, and then I'm the only witness, and then I don't know how to fix anything, and I don't know what you're doing, and then you could explode it. You could turn into a baby too.
Also there.
Oh, and she turns around and she's
Just
like,
come
"Oh,
in.
good. At least some other people are here. Tell him he should not touch this."
It should be okay, she calls out. But I wouldn't keep standing there. I don't think it has any power right now, but I think she might be right to not want to be there if power does come back on.
I mean, this kind of looks like what we need. And he looks pointedly at Ishtalan. This is probably where we'll open, a door.
Doesn't look anything like a door, though. This is like a platform. It's a door jam. It's like a little triangle thing, isn't it?
Well, I mean, there's more than one way to,
Skin a cat. Find the lost twin. Tear open holes in reality.
Does anyone actually skin cats? That's terrible.
Yeah. Not a huge job. Price, can you bring your microphone a little bit closer to you?
Yeah. Anyway, as she's saying that, she pushes past Ava and Kabeth both, and she's like looking at the jars. When she finally gets the gist of what is inside of them, she jerks back and goes, makes a looks over her shoulder at Esmond and then just kind of makes that sort of face. It's like, yep, I get it.
Yeah. After seeing the things inside the jar, having had a similar reaction, Ava kind of walks briskly out of the room towards back into where Esmond is, kneels down a couple feet away from him by his side, and it's like, "Hey, Ez, what? Tell me what the device does. Just explain it to me." Not touching him, just kneeling a few feet to his right.
After a few moments, Esmond, of violent hurling and heavy breathing, Esmond would have gotten himself situated and would be sitting on the staircase, his arms on his knees, just kind of slumped. When Ava comes over and asks about what the device does. And you just hear a muffled, heavy sigh. And Esmond moves to start standing up again. That room over there is a whole device. It's a whole device designed to locate and target a specific temporal aura, from what I can tell. I don't know how it works yet.
Okay, well, and you guys have known each other for a while now, so you may know this, but she's trying to get him to talk about sciencey stuff, to distract him. Okay, but what can that do? What does that translate into?
Yeah, I mean, Esmond recognizes the game. He stands and moves back over to one of the still standing tables and pulls out his journal and starts taking kind of erratic notes, trying to with Ava kind of just like noting down possibilities of like what the device could be used for. And you can tell that he's forcing himself right now, but he is trying to find some kind of equilibrium in himself again. I don't know what specifically it could be used for. I don't know how it works.
As your friend kind of, you said you were writing down, going through the calculations and stuff on a piece of paper, right?
Yes.
Yeah, in your journal. As you're doing that, as you're explaining to Ava that you can't figure it out, you realize that you do. And the light at the end of your pencil breaks.
Oh, no. No, that does... No, the math makes sense, actually.
The message?
The device. The device in the room, you realize, doesn't just capture and transmit a temporal aura. It's tuned to a temporal aura. The purpose of it is to capture that person from a different time and bring them here.
Boy, Esmond goes cross-eyed for a moment as he kind of like falls backwards. designed to... It's designed to be tuned into a specific aura and track it and pull it from other timelines, other realities.
Okay. And in the message, the person was saying it only looks like he can make it lock on to...
onto my aura, I think.
During all of this, while Ava was trying to distract Desmond and they're talking about it, Ishtalan was chatting with Casey, and then after turning away from the jars, she has been poking at the platform and the circles and prodding things and trying to move any kind of dell or anything that looks like it might be in the area that's just, it can be touched.
And you're talking about the machine with the circles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the same room as the jar.
Turning and prodding and turning dials and switches. Nothing's happening.
One of them's bound to power it up, Casey says from atop the platform.
Why are we... Don't mess with the stuff.
Can I ask, is it out of character for people who have kids? Is this what it's like to have kids? You know, if you leave them in a room with the stuff, they're gonna start pressing them. You can't.
You don't
do
leave them.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't leave them.
So it's really on you guys.
I will say that as my eldest has grown, he's turned more and more into a little Esmond. Today I got him to go outside by telling me he could play his video games out there. Yeah. So we hung out, and he was like, "Huh, the Wi-Fi stretches pretty far."
Nice. No, sorry, I didn't mean to derail anything. It's our fault. Yes, we can keep going.
Yeah.
Without looking up, Esmond's just going to kind of weakly point at the room with the device. Get them out of there. Get them out of there now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just.
And Esmond is going to move to the last room that he has not explored, the children's room, I believe.
You move to the room, and looking in through the doorway, there's immediately an uneasy familiarity. The room's quite a mess, but you realize without a doubt. I mean, you've been here before, didn't... No. Wait, wasn't this your room before Gwen redecorated it? Wait. So long ago.
I'm gonna do a once over. I'm gonna look for hidden compartments or passages or something in the space.
Look around. Roll perception check.
Sorry, you said perception? 24.
Find two things. First one is something that doesn't belong in this room. Beneath, it looks as though it must have fallen, slid beneath the dresser. Glint of metal.
Slide it out and investigate it closer.
Looks like a small wrench. Carved, engraved in the metal haphazardly. Obviously, probably just with a chisel and a bit of metal. Just says M plus G
Okay, and the second thing?
The hidden lever on the wall.
I pull it.
Stone slides. Get a gust of cold wind. Tunnel. Fresh air.
I start
That's
walking through
scraping.
it.
You have to duck down. It's small. It doesn't take you long. Catch a glimpse of snow. Looks as though there's a hidden tunnel that leads out of the tower. Seems to come to Riverside.
While Esmond has gone back into investigate his childhood room, Ava has gone back to where everyone else is, and seeing them sort of, in my own mind, Casey's jumping up and down on top of the thing. And Echelon is turning every dial in there, and she just does the parent thing and using a bit of thaumaturgy to make it louder. She does the thing where you put your fingers in and whistle. And oh yeah, and whenever she gets people's attention, which for hers is much more assertive, I think, than she's typically accustomed to being, she's like, okay, Esmond says no more touchy, everyone out of the room. We gotta do stuff somewhere else, but touching stuff's bad, and it's making him freak out even more, so let's go.
Like a cat, Echelon stares at Ava and then like reaches out and turns a knob.
She, an invisible force, pushes her away from there.
All right. Anyway, it seems that the thing doesn't work anyway.
Yep, I'm sure you're using it 100% the right way, and it's just broken. Let's go. And she keeps shooing people out of the room.
Ez will know how to power it.
Yeah, he's in, and then she realizes that he's not in that room. He's in a different room.
You guys all feel like cold air kind of coming from the children's room.
Like herding cats.
We didn't hear you. We saw you transmitting, but we did not hear you.
What? Did he run away, Peach?
Oh, I think he's through here. Ava's gonna try to herd people towards the cold air. Not.
You have to duck to get through the tunnel. It's quite small, but it leads you out to what seems to be the riverbank. Frozen over, of course. But Esmond, what do they see when they get out there with you?
They find Esmond. He's just standing, staring out over the riverbank, holding the small wrench, just kind of rubbing his thumb over the engraving, just staring out.
Okay, just wait here and don't touch anything. She slowly walks out towards where Esmond is, her footsteps audible in the snow as she approaches. There's just the sight of a breath from right over behind her shoulder. She just stands there for a second, waiting for him to respond.
I think I'm starting to put together what happened here, and I don't belong here. I don't think.
Well, nobody belongs here, Esmond. It's cold as fuck out here. Let's try to go back inside, okay?
I was stolen from someplace else. From a family that I never had the opportunity to know. From friends that I couldn't meet. From a home that was mine and dragged here for what? Exactly.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's, a lot to take in, but, I mean, look, however you end up here, we're all a little bit better off because of it. 'Cause without you, we wouldn't be able to figure out any potential solution. So, no matter how evil it might have been, or however messed up, you're here right now, and we got a lot of stuff we gotta do. So let's just go back inside for a bit, and let's try to focus on that for right now, because I think that there's one thing that you and I share a lot about, which is that when stuff like this happens, we can always try to lose ourselves in the work, right? There's a lot of work back in that tower, Esmond.
I was never supposed to know any of you. And it was... work, right? Yeah. Let's, go.
Yeah, let's you and I figure it out, okay? It's, the boy who wasn't supposed to be on this plane working alongside his friend, the girl who wasn't supposed to be born. We make quite the team.
Esmond will turn slowly, but you'll kind of have to lead him back, back into the space, back into the tower.
Okay. As she does, sort of turns around a little bit with it and looks towards the other and walks slowly with Esmond and does the shoe in motion like, we're all going back inside now.
Snow built up on your shoulders at this point.
And, yeah, as they're walking, she just sort of repeats a little bit slowly, encouraging things, but mostly things related to, like, yeah, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna got all the work to do, and we're gonna figure it out. Stuff like that.
As you come back into the room, I'll just give you a refresher on kind of what's in here. You have what we're going to call the storage device. Small enough to carry. You have what we'll call the tape recorder. Large device, transporting it would be a hassle. You could, but it would be cumbersome and obnoxious. There is a device you have not investigated yet. It seems to have brass antennae, different dials. There is a large device in a hidden chamber that Esmond seems to have puzzled out that it seems to steal an instance of Esmond from another time. I think there's a variety of like alchemic labs and things like that. They're sort of miscellaneous. There's one other thing. I can't figure out what it is yet. There seem to be like the vestiges of other machinery that are part of this room structure, but you're not sure, like, it's incomplete. It's like part of something else.
I missed that last part. Can you do it one more time? I was laughing.
You can see like the signs that there's other larger machinery that's part of the tower itself that you see integrated sort of into the structure of this room, but it's incomplete. Like, it was part of the whole of the tower, but the rest of it's been destroyed.
Okay. Alright, Walkus, let's just take one piece at a time and put them together like a puzzle. You just walk us through it.
Yeah, right. So we came to this tower to find additional notes on the memento device that has something to do with, or could potentially stop the continuous opening of tears. There are clearly no notes or journals, nothing useful, but this device, and he picks up the small crystal device that he was investigating earlier, is something that is designed to hold vast quantities of information greater than a library that could be found in the capital. It'll take me some time to parse through and find out how to use it, but the notes that we need could potentially be on here. There's that recording style device. We've seen two messages that were transposed onto it appear. That the person that lived here, Magister Desmond, was studying chronomancy to a degree. For what purpose, we don't know yet. He was looking for means of pursuing his ideal further, and said he was running out of time. And that room is how he did it. It's designed to steal instances of himself from other realities. To do what with, I'm not entirely sure, but if I had to guess, he would steal himself and use it as a means of advancing his studies further by having somebody to work with and bounce ideas off of, or I don't know. There are a few more devices in here that I have not yet taken a look at, so everyone just can get yourselves situated. We'll be here for a little while longer, but someone go close that door, please. and Esmond will go off and look to investigate the other devices that we have not yet looked at, starting with the antennae one.
Peach will follow Esmond's order to close the door, and then she would sit in front of it, sort of half guarding it.
Kabeth is still sticking to Esmond like glue now that he's back.
Esmond moves to the device with the antennae to begin to investigate it. That'll take a little bit of time as he is working on that. Give me a quick glimpse of what the others are up to, if anything.
Unless he objects, Doc is going to see if Casey can help with the numbers guessing, going through the trial and error of trying to figure something out, because it seems like something he'd be lucky at.
Oh yeah, Casey would definitely help you with that.
Can you just roll luck?
Can I roll?
Whoa.
Okay, so the last two numbers that you did were 892 and 991.
Okay, one second.
You realize that the one that accidentally played when you bumped into it originally was 231.
Okay, give me 1 second to put all this stuff down, because so you don't have to repeat.
Sure.
Okay, just do them in numerical order. I know what they are.
231, 892, and 991 so far. And there are lots of entries in between there. However, many of them are corrupted.
Okay,
In fact, all of them are corrupted.
All of them corrupted between there. 231, 892, 991, and those are just in there in the mix. We have no idea of knowing exactly how many there are, right? We just know there are a lot, and everything else so far seems corrupted.
Yep.
Okay. Is it just a matter of... That's fine. You've given me enough, I think. But random configurations. It's corrupted. You just keep going through them, and eventually you'll stumble across something that's not going to be corrupted.
Yeah, you could go sequentially, or you could go asequentially. Your choice.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna figure this out. Okay. Casey, what's the luckiest number you can think of?
7.
Perfect. Okay. 991 worked. Add 7 to it, and we're just gonna keep doing that.
The crystals at the edge of the room glow, and an image is briefly projected. It's Ava. And says, oh wait, I accidentally pressed something. No, I don't. And then it vanishes.
Oh. Okay. I think we just found the last recording.
What I just described has never happened.
Oh, I thought that was me earlier in this campaign, earlier in this session, bumping into something. Oh.
No, that's not what you said.
Do we realize this?
Did it look like me?
No missing fingers, no, evil scar across the face. No mustache.
The rest of us see this too? This is not like hidden?
Yeah.
Ava, are you a time clone too?
I think this may not be our first rodeo, literally. Almost literally.
I'm 998, apparently.
I think you guys are getting caught up in the details. We just need to know how to work the machines.
Okay.
This one. It's just finding them, right?
Okay. I'll try to brainstorm on this, and if someone else wants to do something, unless Isaac wants to keep guessing or.
Good number.
All the 69.
Nice. That's the recording.
As you dial in, there is an entry higher in value, but no entry lower in value that you have not yet already seen or is corrupted.
Okay, so 231, the very first video was the greeting.
No, it was basically seemed to be an old version of Esmond talking about being called a traitor and a chronomancer, etc. It's one that mentioned Volkskrieg in the chronograph. Or chronophone. Chronograph?
$112.
There are higher entries, but nothing lower.
Okay. 230. 240.
There's nothing between here and 991 that is viable or you haven't seen yet.
Oh wow. Okay.
Or 998
what is
actually.
here?
Yeah. 1,000.
1,000. You've already seen the lower entry. There is a higher entry.
1,200.
You're very close. You begin to dial in. You get to 1231. You see, again, adult version of Esmond. Very close to the age he is now, except hair shaved entirely on one side, long on one side. You see that there is his facial hair. It's grown in. It says, after all this time, it's worked. I've made contact on the chronophone. It's just for a moment, and the signal is shifting, but if I can just find the signal again, I can work out a system to account. This will work.
Are there any higher?
Yes, many.
Jumps ahead 50, so it's 1281.
Cold.
1,300.
Warmer.
1,324.
Tiny bit warmer.
1,370.
Warmer.
1,450.
You've gone a little too far. There's something lower and something higher now.
Okay. 1,398.
Gotten farther away. Well, farther away from one, closer to the other.
1,370.
Closer. You begin to dial it in.
1,350.
Oh, I made a mistake. Sorry, 1231 is the one you just did, right? There's one higher. I can get you that. 1423.
Sure. All right.
Dial it in. Again, another version of Esmond. Details different here. There's a scar across the eye. One of the eyebrows burned at the edge. Project Rain Barrel. It works. A nominalistic event. I've stored it in the crystal matrix. It's gonna take some time to research, to figure out how to make the proper alignments, but it worked. A trans-temporal event free of time. This is what I need.
Ava's going to try to jump ahead to 1878.
Incredibly close. You begin to dial in. You get to 1882. You see a version of Esmond. There's blood on his shirt. He's breathing heavy, sweat on his skin. Here, they're searching for me now. I was barely able to move the tower in time. Her grasp is growing long. The kingdom is going to cover the entire land soon.
Okay. Spinning wildly, just checking random numbers between 1423 and 1882, trying to see if there was something that was missed.
Which numbers?
Between 1423 and 1882.
Nothing between.
Okay. Smaller increments now. 1901.
You're dialing in. A little bit of a tone. Esmond, roll investigation, please, as you work on your research. .31 investigation. Yeah. And you can hear Ava dialing in the recording device, going through entries. You are dialing this machine that you found. You realize, in working on it, as you overhear what's happening in the recordings, this is the chronophone. And there's a signal in the history, but you can see with notes on a faded, dirty piece of paper kind of beside the machine that someone's been doing mathematics on it, chasing a signal that's shifting. With your 31 investigation, you realize whoever used this machine before, they found a signal, they keep losing it, but they figured out that there's a mathematical pattern by which the signal is changing. They've been chasing after it, trying to establish and re-establish contact. With your 31, you're doing the math, and you realize you solved it. You know the signal to put into the chronophone to make contact again.
I will go ahead and dial in, but I will not activate the chronophone until after Ava and Casey have stopped messing with the message recorder.
Dial it in. You've got it set. You have to do is flip the switch. Back over Ava. Oh, Beth.
Beth's kind of like been looking over your shoulder, Esmond, and she's like, "You have that look on your face, like you figured something out, but you seem concerned still. Did you figure out how to make it work?"
Without looking back at you, I'm just waiting.
Okay. We should not tell Casey, right?
No, just leave it for now.
Okay. Beth's waiting.
Ava, you're dialing in the numbers and you reach 2255. You see, again, version of Esmond. Just a little older than you know him. But his hair is quite long and braided in this version of him. Lesson 81. Spectrography. Strong extratemporal force polarized by temporal force. Let's go over it again. Esmond, are you paying attention?
Hearing my name say hearing my voice say my name, Esmond whips around from the chronophone.
Listen, I know this is a lot. You have to focus. We don't have that much time. It's 16 more years. We have to solve this. So tell me. Teach me, like I don't know. Strong extratemporal force. Go.
Go on, Ez.
Esmond looks towards Ava and Casey. This is a recording, right?
For the last time. No, I can't hear you. I asked the same questions.
Holy shit.
Esmond looks towards the hologram. Okay, so to clarify, are you speaking to me as though you already know what I'm asking?
Well, only because it's a question I would ask. The messages, you can listen to them in the past or the future. It doesn't matter when you record them or when you listen to them. It doesn't. You'll study that later.
You think you tell yourself something valuable?
Oh, do I? Well, okay. Hey, go fuck yourself. No.
Give it to me one more time. It's clear through the arcane arithmetic. It is the extratemporal force that is the foundation, the ambient state of existence. Temporality is imposed on top of it. That's why we couldn't get the device to work originally until we made the changes. It's not that events are ordered. It's that order, that polarization of sequence has been imposed onto it.
So counter this temporal force, this delineated path of events against counter that set of events with another set of events, something of equal or greater strength.
Well, that will even further disrupt the imposition of temporality, Esmond. It brings us closer to destabilizing it. That's what they're concerned about, but they don't understand that it can be accounted for. That's what they would never accept. I guess that's enough for today. But I need you to focus. The work, Esmond. I get you and I. 16 years. That's our chance, and then if we can't do it, someone else has to do it. One of us has to do it. You heard what she said. It all ends. All right, and unless anyone,
I think that is enough for today.
No, continue. There might be something that clarifies what we need.
She
Or it
looks
might
over.
be a video of yourself telling you to go to sleep.
I don't need to go to sleep. I need to figure out what is happening.
Oh, okay. Jumps ahead by just 16. Just jumps ahead by a small amount.
As you begin to go through the thing, dialing in, you begin to kind of figure out the device a little bit. And you realize the next entry it's not for a long time. There's lots of entries, I should say, that are corrupted. But the next one that seems to be in a good state isn't for a long time.
You keep doing that. I'm gonna play with something over here, and Esmond will go and activate the chronophone.
Right. Power's on. You hear different signals ebbing and flowing, like the meeting of tides, turning of the world. Static. And there's a voice on the other end.
Wait, is it on that time? Wait, I think I felt it coming back. Esmond, are you there?
You hear a voice you've not heard before. Maybe slightly familiar, like a dream.
No. Who is this?
Well, I suppose I didn't give you my name before, but I'm Sav. But that doesn't really matter. We don't have that much time before the signal gets lost again. But yes, I think you're right. So tell me what you know. What you can. You're in the garden, right? You're by the tower.
Yeah, we're in the basement of the tower. I'm sorry. I'm very confused right now. How do you know
basement? What do you mean? You told me when we talked just a moment ago.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, long day. It's fine. I can find you again if we get disconnected. What were we discussing again?
Be all right. What?
You broke up at the beginning there.
Be ye all right? What is? Doesn't matter. You said that you study magic as well. You're from a different land. But what you know about the tower? What do you mean you're in the basement of the tower?
Sorry.
How many floors do they have?
Oh, there's. Trust me, it's confusing for us as well. No, we're not at the. You're referring to the White Tower, the spire, right? That's not where we're at.
Wait. I thought you were. Just hear a sigh that's sort of crackly, and then. Okay, but. So how can you help me then?
What do you need exactly?
I'm trying to determine more about the White Tower as it had landed, where it had landed, and what. Okay, so, God, you really don't remember anything about what we talked about before?
Things are very stressful over here right now.
Oh, all right. So, and 5 words or less. White Tower, magic, affects the stuff in a big way, and there's something. It's disrupting all of the magic, right? You've seen that too, but I assume if you've studied it at all.
Right, yeah, the stuff, the weave, is what academics call it. I kind of like the stuff as well. Yeah, the tower is terraforming the planet. At least that's what Silas was telling us, and based on what I've been able to research, it matches. There's more happening.
Pause, and as you're speaking of this, there's a long pause after you stop, and she says, "Silas, he was doing research."
Sort of. He was kind of a dick, but he also said that if anyone, he said specifically that if anyone could solve the issue, it would be Sav.
There's another long moment silence, and for like a good 30 seconds passes, and then she says, this voice on the other end says, "When did you talk to this Silas?"
maybe 2.5 weeks ago, give or take.
What?
What?
Silas? I thought. What? You hear sort of like she is kind of like laughing, but also sounds exasperated and disbelieving. And that wait. Sort of. Does he look about yay tall? And you can't see her, but she sounds like she's making a gesture. And sort of wavy hair, brown, keeps it up. He's got lots of scars. He's a bright, proper dick, as you said.
Yeah, I think he's about that height. Yeah, and absolutely an asshole. He was very rude, but also was very. He was trying to rush to help us to get away from where we were. We were in a place called. We were somewhere called the Place in Between, and we were being chased, or something was arriving. Something called the Angel of Doors, was after us, and he was there with a friend of ours who had passed away. Many years ago, and she somehow came.
The Angel of Doors. And wait, sorry, because I don't remember what we called the angel at the top, the king at the top of the tower.
Oh, Alavendra lore.
Wait, we got that name?
Probably from
Or was it just Danica who knew that? Okay. Angel, so like being, big wings, really terrible, awful, beautiful, glorious, gives you a real fright, like fills you with dread while also making you feel sick and full of wonder.
Yes.
Fuck. Well, I think I'm getting too distracted by this other stuff. So, okay. What I'm trying to do is figure out how to keep the world from essentially breaking apart, from the world stabilizing. Well, the world itself, I think, will stabilize probably into its new axis of rotation in about 3 months, if my calculations are correct, and they usually are. But with everything going on, the stuff is being warped by the presence of the tower. But there's something else it's not just the tower. There's something else going on that I didn't have. There's something else I think that I'm not accounting for correctly, and I don't know what it is, but because it's not just the tower itself that's causing all of this, there's something else. Like, if it was just that, then my calculations would come correct, but there's not. There's some other factor. And there's also something else that is, I think, acting against the tower, but I don't know. I didn't care if these two factors are the same or not.
We've learned a device on our end over here that
Well, have I lost you?
goddamn cats, I swear.
Ishtal.
We've learned of a device over here on our end. It doesn't tie into everything that's happening with the tower and the warping of the weave or the stuff. There's a device that was. All the notes that I have are incomplete, but from what I've been able to determine, has been preventing our plane of existence from opening up into other realities, and maybe that's the thing that you're referring to. As while the timing of the tower falling is coincidental, I don't believe that it's the cause of that.
Device. Can you describe it?
I can't actually. No, I have no idea what it is, where it is. I know what it is based on the notes that we have. I know what it is designed to do, and if those notes are accurate, it has failed in what it is meant to do for whatever reason.
Wait, so you're not in the White Tower itself. You're somewhere else. Where are? Because from what I can tell, whatever it is this thing that is working against the White Tower and the weight, the gravity that it has upon the stuff, it seems to be coming from somewhere very far from where I am, like on the other side of the world, maybe.
Wait, where are you at?
I'm in, I don't know, Northgate? There's Moraith, Karakan.
I mean, Chris, would we have any idea about the other side of the world? Okay, I don't know why I was. That's not anywhere. That wouldn't happen to be right around the corner from the Kingdom of Lux, would it?
Never heard of the Kingdom of Lux?
Okay, I'm learning that our world is probably too big, and someone should really do a map of it in the near future.
Stories of lands beyond the sea. I met a captain once who said that he had been there and come back. Had these bullets or this strange weapon that's shots pellets, like magical arcane pellets that hurt real bad.
Oh, a gun?
Is that what it's called? Sounds like you recognize it.
I mean, small hand cannon, essentially. Yeah, there's a couple of designs, design
yes.
variations, but yeah, gun.
All right.
And wait, the tower. It's landed somewhere in our kingdom. It's still a great distance from us, but it is on our continent.
What?
No, sorry, that's not true. There's an ocean between your continent and the northern continent.
It's not terribly. I mean, it's far, but it's not terribly far from where we are. We can see it on the horizon. It's very tall and menacing, but it is technically within reach of us by several years.
Yeah, we managed to get there? Because we've sent many an expedition towards it, and well, the wall seems to prevent anything from going beyond.
I don't know anything about a wall. I know that our kingdom has also sent their own expeditions to the tower, but after the whatever happened with the weave occurred, we've lost connection to them and also other means of using magic to reach back out to them.
These 4 months ago? Whatever day it was at the, she'll put in the appropriate amount of standard time.
She gives the right time.
I think it's almost 7 or 8 months actually, but yes, it was around then, I believe. Yeah.
The sky went all funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because as far as I can see from the observatory here, it's 500 miles away. Or so, maybe give or take. But it's surrounded by, well, we call it the shroud or the wall. You can't really see it until you're up close to it, but it seems to surround it somehow. All the lands inside of it are green and lush. Everything here has been turned to shite, getting really cold as the world turns, the world orients itself, or rather, the tower orients itself toward the sun, dragging everything else along with it. But within that circle, which seems to be about 500 miles radius, things are green and lush, and I can't see anything inside of it, even with the telescope. There's maybe celestial machina. I forgot the term we use for that too. Constructs within it, but I've seen no people, and anytime we've sent expeditions inside of it, the Blackwoods lost a fair amount of men. Trying to pierce that barrier, people would go in and they'd never come back out. Or the one time that we tried to send someone in with a rope, they cut the rope. When they sent them in with iron shackles and pulled them back out. They remembered not of their time in there, except that they wanted to go back.
Hey, I mean, this might be random. We actually met someone from Silental recently. I think you wouldn't happen to know a Samsel, would you?
What? Halfling?
Yeah.
Part of the Digsman?
Yes, yeah. Incredibly cheerful despite everything happening around her.
What is she doing? This is a prank. How do you know Silas and Samsel? Well, you haven't even told me anything about where you are or who you are.
Esmond Clockwright. I'm in Air Genasi.
What?
Hold on. Air Genasi.
Is anyone else? Can everyone else hear this?
We can hear this?
At this moment is when Casey said, "You're just now introducing yourself."
Jesus, that's the most dramatic thing I've ever seen. Shut up, Casey.
So you start to hear, kind of voices in the background, but they're not really that close. It's just like somebody's talking in the other room.
I have speaker.
Yeah, hey guys, no, shut up. I can't hear her, and I imagine that this is all catching right now, so hold on a second.
Yeah, shut up, Casey.
He's supposed to introduce himself first.
Yeah, it's
Also, who says the race that they are? What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I mean, if they can't see you.
I don't know. Bite me. I'm having a bad day.
It is a bad day, yeah. But we have an ally, it seems.
I mean, maybe. Where even is Ice? Northgate?
Shh.
Well,
No, I remember that Dixman was from there.
No. That's the one that handsome jerk talked about. She'll know how to get back in there. Ask her.
Right. So, yeah, you don't know. So none of your studies have given you any idea of like how to cross the barrier to get to the White Tower. Then it's all
Nah,
been.
that's partly. I mean, that's what I've been trying to find out, among other things.
As you guys are saying that, you do hear the signal start to weaken. It's not running out yet, but this will not last forever.
Do teleportation circles work for you guys?
Not anymore. They worked up until that day when the skies turned funny.
Right. I know that the tower specifically affected Conjuration, School of Magic, as well as a handful of others.
are there portals, though? Ask her if there's portals.
She
To
can hear
place-
you.
Are there portals where you're at? To places like deserts and the ocean? Check for information.
Hold on, let me look out my window real fast.
Tears. Yes.
Yeah,
that's-
tears, yes.
That's been happening. Yeah.
That's been happening as well.
Esmond knows how to close them, but have you gone through? Have people come through?
Sav has not been investigating that.
I've had my attention on the tower, as I suspect that whatever's going on with the tower would solve the tears as well. But, well, it seems like there isn't much time left on this, as far as I can tell. If you're that far over, if you're way away from here, that you didn't even know about the Silental and Rothgate or out of the source, maybe you can investigate this other signal that I've been detecting, because it seems to be sort of a nature, of a kind with the White Tower, but whatever it is working against it, or at least it seems to be hindering whatever the tower is here to do.
Yeah, tell us how to find it.
I've just told you all that I know about it.
Do you know, relative to the tower, any direction?
The only thing I can tell is that it's on the far side of the world, beyond the safe for me. But that sounds like it may be some yours after the world, or the world, perhaps. What exactly it mean if those two interact is I have not as yet discovered, but whatever it is, it seems to be disrupting the White Tower, and I think that can only be a good thing.
I just realized a thing.
Ooh.
Yeah. Sav, when you were on the Octurne, you got at least a glimpse. You know that there are other landmasses besides yours.
That's right. There was also like a circle leading to one of those other landmasses, wasn't there? I decided not to use it.
We could have been so much closer.
There must be some way to get across if you've met Samsel and, well, in case you didn't, well, I imagine you do know, since you said that they were in the company of a friend of yours that was long dead. He's also dead as far as I can tell. I'm glad he's still around though. I think Box will feel a bit better about that.
Yeah, she's so much more perky than I feel like somebody in her position would be, but you know, that whatever works for her. Yeah, I'll see if we can investigate this other signal further. Do you know if it can be tracked on this device?
I have no idea what you're talking to me on, but if it's anything like my own, probably.
Yeah, how are you tracking the device? How are you tracking the signal?
You have equipment at the observatory. Yeah.
I mean, there's some things here, but it's not incredibly portable, and I've sort of made it my life's work to study the Skyfolk, the ASMR, and what they do in the White Tower, the Octane. That was all the work of the ASMR.
The who? What's it now?
The ASMR? ASMR? I've heard different pronunciations, probably because no one. And then she sings like a note that a word in a foreign language that is mostly musical,
I think we broke up
which
for a second.
Araya would probably recognize, actually.
Araya would pick it up.
Okay. Well, this is good. We can tackle both problems from two different fronts. This, knowing that there's someone else out there also looking into this is amazing. We haven't been able to talk with anyone in months now.
Yeah, but we need to know how to track that signal. Is it the other one, the counteracting one? Is it magical in nature?
You feel the signal is
Certainly.
getting a little weaker.
It is certainly of the weight of the stuff. It is still ASMR in nature. It is, if you have any kinds of ratings on the White Tower, then I think if you look for something similar to that, you might be able to find something like that.
I think we
It
can do
seems
that.
to almost be a reflection of it in some way.
We saw all those things, remember, out of the tower? Those lines? The cracks? They all came from the White Tower?
We might be able to track it. We'll do what we can on our end to do what we can, I guess. What about you? What will you do in the meantime?
I always just try to figure out the source of this and see if I can figure out, if you've got that, I'll try to figure out what this other factor is that's causing the incredibly unstable nature of reality right now. It's not just a tower.
Esmond, roll disadvantaged investigation.
Would that just be regular since I still have enhanced ability up, or would that have run out by now?
Regular.
Regular.
Ooh, 27. Okay.
I am actually going to burn my inspiration. I'm going to see if I can get higher than that.
Okay. Now remember, in inspiration, you have to keep the result.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I'll use a spark point then. In that case. $29.
Squeak.
Slightly better. Yeah, as you're having this conversation with Sav and you're feeling the signal begin to weaken, you're already, of course, in some other part of your mind palace doing the calculations to refresh the signal, right? You realize very quickly that the problem is algorithmic, and the person who did the work before you had done like 99% of it. And you realize very quickly calculating the new signal is going to be very, very hard. Do another investigation check. Maybe your attention gets pulled to it for a moment.
34.
34, yeah. Quick off the top of your head, if you dedicated, say, 2 or 3 hours a day to solving the equation, just inside of 12 years.
Yeah. We can look into the other town. You don't have any other suggestions?
I mean, if you can do the calculations, maybe you can also figure out attacking from the other side. What else is causing the destabilization of reality? All these holes being torn into the world, fabric of the world. Or are you not already looking at it? I'd gotten the impression from. You really don't remember what you were talking about? It really sounded like you, but anyway.
Oh, actually, let me have
I've
both
been
of
trying
you.
to.
Oh, sorry. Finish what you're saying, and then I have.
I've been trying to get in contact with someone inside of the garden near the tower to see if we can figure out what's going on inside of there. I thought that was you, but I suppose not.
I didn't want to say anything. I thought you were going to have us do something, Chris.
Yeah. Both Esmond and Sav roll investigation. Actually, both of you with advantage.
Would this be double advantage since I still have enhance ability up, or just advantage, just straight advantage?
Oh, actually, yeah. Double advantage.
Where Sav reveals only her measly 13 plus 13 to investigation instead of plus 18.
Natural 20
Oh shit!
for
Nice.
38.
Nice. Yeah, Esmond, you just have this random moment of inspiration, realizing when you had worked on the art project for the town square in Shepherd's End that reflected the starlight. Sav mentioned studying the observatory. If you compared the position of the stars, you could figure out where each other are.
I think we can we might be able to pinpoint where we are. I can't do it now, but we might be able to compare constellations to see where we are relative to one another, and that could give us a better idea of being able to, find each other.
Of course. Do you can the North Star that's currently right above the tower, the White Tower?
Yeah, we're aware.
And then she's going to start describing like 30 degrees south of the constellation as the new south, as opposed to the old south, based on the
taking such
stuff.
elaborate
She's
notes.
talking faster and faster,
Yeah,
trying to
Sav
get
and Esmond both roll investigation again, please.
get advantage because.
Yeah.
Oh, I do get it. Okay. And it was 27 both times anyway.
Interesting. Yeah, Sav arrives at it just the slightest bit faster. But yeah, you're able to, by essentially, just the rotation relationship to the North Star and just even one constellation by time, you are able to roughly figure out kind of where you are. Northgate is much closer to the White Tower than where you are. But you are on essentially opposite sides of the world.
Okay. From what I can tell, you are much closer to the tower, but we're essentially exactly opposing one another on the globe.
Fuck this guy. Get over there. She says this doesn't seem to accept an answer. But that says, well, good luck. I didn't care if we'll be able to talk again, but if not, then see if we can manage to get some people over there. Even if we can't teleports. We've got some ways of getting around this.
Yeah. Good luck to you all as well. I'll try and contact you again as frequently as possible. For the record, Silas is in a place somewhere called the place in between, is how he referred to it, if you're trying to find him.
There's a woman with a mask and like a raven and things like that.
No, this was kind of a dreary place with a red sky and upside down buildings and land floating in the air.
That's all she says to that.
Did we, out of character, did Sav say her name?
Yeah. She just said Sav.
You hear the
Is that-
signals. Oh, good.
Is that enough to use sending?
Presumably.
Okay, because
If something works.
yeah, I think we might be able to talk just in short amounts. And
So, let's try again.
You hear
Well,
the signal, the whine as the signals. It's being hard to make out what each other's saying now.
We'll do what we can on our end. We'll find all of you soon. All of you stay safe.
Wait, you two talk again. And then it like kind
Absolutely.
of scratches out at the end.
Yeah, the crystal on the thing turns red. He follows the signal.
And so our heroes spend the next 12 years calling her back.
Ishlan, you were so quiet back there. You didn't have anything to bring to the conversation?
Honestly, I couldn't understand. I could not understand what she was saying half the time.
Yeah, you know what? That was big brain time for me. I was parsing every other syllable.
I loved it and I missed her accent.
It's amazing.
Honestly, I feel like it was way too much Ishlan in the voice because it's been so long since they've done that voice.
So I've run into this funny thing where Fan essentially has this accent similar to Sav's, right? And I keep getting pulled into Ishtalan accent.
Oh, that was fucking incredible. Holy shit.
as,
That made me so happy. It's
Assume-
so cool.
Unbelievable.
As soon as the
I'm
signal.
Oh, I was just gonna say, as an aside, I'm so happy that Eisendel is politically stable enough to be able to like investigate the tower. It makes me so happy. Like there wasn't an immediate revolution. Good job, Carter.
At least not one that was discussed in that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, they could be doing
They're not
multiple things
actually at
the
war.
time.
They're sending some. They're like doing. They're not. It's stable enough that they can worry about the tower and not about which
Either that or-
is ruling them.
Or Northgate has seceded and now just doing its own thing.
Northgate has seceded.
I
It's
admire
led
your
by Bax. Bax is the new Northgate leader, I'm calling it.
So the machine whines a bit and then goes quiet.
As soon as it dies down, Ava just slaps Esmond on the arm and goes, "You said your race? Who does that?"
I don't
Hi,
know.
I'm Ava, and I'm a human.
Ava,
You're
don't go
weird. What
saying
do
you're
you
human
want
and
from me?
stuff.
No,
Look, I don't know what you want from me. Okay, this whole day has been incredibly weird. That was both amazing and incredibly strange simultaneously. I'm having a bad day. Just leave me alone.
But that was a silver lining, though, right? Of all the things to find in the tower, we found somebody who's helping us from the other side of the world. Like, what if we have help? It's just not just us.
Well, it means that we can tackle. We're not the only ones in the world. I mean, we never were. There was no way that we were, but at least we have confirmation that we're not the only ones also dealing with these things and trying to figure it out.
Did not really say too much that was helpful, though. Aside from something that seems to kind of be countering. I did not fully understand her, I'll be honest, but there's
it's a
nothing
direct-
about...
I mean, it's a direction to look in. I mean, if that, we can try to track the source of that. If they're doing other things, we were so far away from the tower, maybe we can't be helpful for that. But whatever the other signal is, maybe we're closer to it than where they are.
Yeah, what all I had a hard time following too. What all it was an amazing scene, but just to make sure we all got our facts straight, uh, what all are we looking for in our area? Is it a similar tower or anything with that same kind of the white stone architecture, or are we just
Oh.
looking for something that's got the same magic energy? What is
Yeah.
our where's our spot? Yeah, what's our
The second one.
goal now?
Esmond, as Peach is asking this, you also realize one more thing. The journals, the answers that you're looking for, the information, anything on paper is probably rotted in this place. But there's one more place to get information. The crystal matrix that you found may contain, maybe even take a quick moment to check it. It contains more information than just the temporal anomaly. It's got volumes and volumes of research and notes.
It's the internet.
And so many dick pics on it too.
Oh.
Rule 34.
Just all porn carefully catered to Esmond's taste.
Strangely,
no.
Most of the recorded holograms are cats. Just cats doing stupid things.
It's the perfect invention.
Fucking
It's all the
speaking
library
of.
you need.
But yeah, I mean, it sounds like, at least in part, what we're looking for is the opposite signal that's trying to sort of counteract the tower itself. At least from what she was saying. Maybe that could be a thing we could look into.
Well, all this does is give us two things that we have to investigate further. One was why we originally came here, which was to find additional research on whatever the memento device is and see if we can stop the tears from appearing. And this additional thing now, which could allow us to research and or halt whatever the tower is doing. Either way, it's going to take me a lot of time to, I mean, first just to see how I can access the crystal matrix. But then after that, when I do eventually get access to it, it's going to take me. Well, based on initial math, 12 years to sort out how to find the other tone.
Well, was I there when the old dude was talking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, wasn't he saying something about how there was a project that he was working years and years towards? What if when he recorded that, the years and years towards has already been spent, and that it's the same thing? There's something about an end. This seems like a pretty big end, don't you think?
I don't know if I want to use anything that these people studied at all.
I see
the whole
that.
reason we came here.
But the entire thing that he studied might be exactly what it takes to save everything that ever was.
And also to get back, actuality, more importantly.
Yeah, we're gonna probably have to use it as...
Turning something wicked towards something far better than it could ever have imagined to be is worth it, don't you think?
No, I don't know if I do. He says, looking towards the bookcase where the jars were located.
Here, Peach will just start to assist him, clumsily at first, but better over time.
GM, you said that the hologram device would be difficult to move from here. What about the chronophone?
Yeah, I mean it's like an entire desk.
Just squeeze it into the bag of holding.
It's a
Assemble
the
it,
bag.
put it in, take it back out again.
The bag of holding is now a briefcase, a suitcase.
Um,
A little, what is it, 70s Cold War era spy equipment.
something to, let's see. Okay. Just so, because there's no map, I just want to remind you guys what exists. Esmond can do additional research in the room with the jars, on the machine itself. You've only done half that research. And there is another entry in the recordings, and there's research you can do on the matrix, the crystal matrix.
Well, we've got one recording left. I'm gonna just knock that one out.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be here for the night, at least, so we may as well get comfortable.
You turn around and
Yeah.
Beth has already started like rolling out her bedroll and taking out
God.
like her cup and spoon and
Hey,
bowl.
Beth, girl, give me 10 minutes. I can get the Wanderlust stuff and going. Hang on. I can give you a soft place to sleep at least.
I was gonna stay here so that I could keep an eye on Esmond while he works, because I know
We
that
can
he probably
we
won't
can build it
sleep.
here. We just need 10 feet.
But you can't see out of it, and I want to be able to see what's going on. But thank you. I'll be fine.
Peach will start to I know she'll look at Esmond because she was assisting him. What do you want? Would it be helpful to make some kind of shelter for everyone? Presuming we're all gonna stay here, nobody's gonna leave you behind. We're here if you're here.
It's fine. You don't have to worry about me like that. Just yeah, your shelter will be good for the night, but it can't just be me. There's too much here for me to research to get and accomplish in one night. I'm gonna need help from multiple of you.
I can help you too. Once I've got it all set up, I wasn't any good at school, but I need to help. I gotta at least figure out how to make my own ammunition so that you're not wasting time, making me bullets I'm gonna shoot off into nothingness. So, if I can pick up anything from shadowing you, then I'd like to be helpful. I just want to help.
I can read a lot. I helped find the thing inside Muirwood. I kind of have an idea.
I mean, I'm no good really at all of this, but I think I've picked up a feel for what some of these tears or things sort of feel like after being around them for long enough. Not mechanically. So I can at least look for things and see if there's anything that matches my experience. Actually, at the very least, I can look around the tower and see if we missed any outbuildings or something. And she's gonna start trotting up the stairs again to head out and actually scout the outer areas of this tower.
Yeah, Ishtalan heads upstairs, do some scouting.
Someone should go with her. We shouldn't be. I don't think there's anything here, but buddy system, right?
Yeah, I'll go with her.
Casey follows
out. GM, random question. But we haven't come across any locked doors or anything like that. Like we entered this basement and it was just the doors of the hidden device chamber.
Unless there's more hidden doors, you've explored all of that basement.
Just real quick, because I'm remembering that I have a key that I found in Mulwood's possessions from some time ago. Esmond is going to pull out his newest infusion, the Wand of Secrets, and tap it in the center of the room. So he pulls a...
Tell me how this works.
Yeah. It basically looks like a metal dowsing rod, right? A metal tuning fork. He pulls that out of his bag and he places a conducting key on both ends of the on both points of the end, and taps it against the table. And as it shakes, it emits a visible yellow aura that spreads and expands across the space. And if there are any hidden chambers or doorways, that yellow will stick in and highlight those creases.
Give me like parameters for the spell, like distances and stuff like that.
Let me double check. 3 charges. Secret door or trap is within 30 feet of you. The wand pulses and points to the nearest one. So I just kind of flavored it a little differently, but 30-foot radius.
There's a pulse and a tug on the wand.
I follow it.
It leads you to the bedroom. The adult. The
Yeah. I feel around.
You realize it guides you forward, I suppose, and down. And it's pointing at a rug on the ground.
Oh, you know I move that shit.
Grab it,
whip it to the side.
throw it over, and it's not actually visible, but the spell reveals almost like just slightly beneath a bit of tile grout you would have to scrape away, like physically. There is a place for a keyhole. There's a place for a key.
Esmond.
Ez, before you open anything more, maybe someone else could look at it first, just in case it's, kind of unpleasant.
It's fine. It's fine. If it gets worse, so be it. I'm too tired at this point. Esmond will reach into his satchel and pull out that. I don't even remember how you described it. I think it was just like a old black key, and he will take it and place it into the lock and twist to see if it opens.
Yeah, well, you have to take out some tools and scrape away some of the grout to get under the tile. Once you remove the tile, there's the keyhole. You put it in, twist it, and there's a grinding of stone beneath and cranking of gears, and a good portion of the floor sinks down and then starts to retract, reveal a hidden compartment. Inside, you see a number of things. It seems to be a cache that contains, you at least see a blade, a sword. There's some things in there, but there's also something larger, a machine of some kind.
Okay. Esmond will take out the sword first, place it to the side, and then reach in and pick up the machine.
You definitely can't pick it up. It's very, very heavy. However, it does have looks like a description plaque that's like covered in dust and has some notes and stuff like that around it.
Yeah. Esmond will attempt to pick it up and pull his back and reside to just trying to dust off and read the plaque and notes around the device.
You see some power output numbers, and looking at them, surprising. And then read some other, basically seems like statistics about the device, its power generation, some kind. You look at the output number, and it's phenomenal. Then you get to the end of the plaque. You brush the dust off. It says Airship Drive Core.
Before I freak out, do we know what airships are?
You've heard that they exist in the capital. Never seen them.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Desmond will turn and picking the sword back up and coming back out. Good news, it was not, in fact, something horrible again. And he'll just present the sword to whoever wants it. It was in a cache in the room back there.
There are several things.
There was this, and also a ship engine, a flying ship engine.
That's how they moved the tower.
Yeah, I think so.
Whoa.
Yeah, we might be staying here for more than a night, so I guess let's get to researching. Yeah.
I don't even need to sleep. I can just research. I'm helping.
So you guys settle in to do some research. Some of you doing some scouting. Do a quick scene. We're close to the end. Do a quick scene here or there. And give some information. Let's see. What do you want to... I'll probably montage you throughout the night, but there's research on the room with the jars. There is the last entry in the recordings. And there is research on the crystal matrix.
I'll wrap up the research on the jar room.
Some time passes in the night by this
Peach will
point.
assist with that if it is okay.
Sure. By that point, Peach, you have the Wandering Wanderlust set up. We'll just say for convenience sake, and that doesn't normally work. This just appears as like a door in the wall of the basement that you can head to the Wandering Wanderlust. Esmond, you are in that room with Peach, trying maybe your best to ignore the jars on that side of the wall and going over the equipment and checking the purpose of the different devices. Roll investigation.
To be clear, I would also be there because I have not left as a side.
Yeah, everyone's kind of around. Yeah, it's fine. It's like adjoined rooms.
Sure, no, but Kebeth is no more than a few feet from him at any given moment. Like, I'm not just hanging out in the area. I just want to declare it that I am there.
It's good.
I'll spend a spark point to re-roll that investigation.
Okay.
Man, I'm finally rolling bad. It was never going to last, gang. Ooh.
Finally rolling bad? You're still hitting double digits.
That's a bad roll.
Luckily, well, it's not bad. You're in the, we'll say, the hour or two that you've been working on this device. You realize it's quite complicated. It's going to take you maybe a couple days to actually, even if you were to even want to try to get it functioning, but you have figured out one thing about it. This is, in fact, so sensitive. I'm going to message you in your channel about
it. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for it.
You realize, if you want to share that bit about your past.
Secrets! I just want secrets.
Oh, I do not share that. I do not.
Husband roll deception. Peach and... No, you're fine. Peach and Kabeth roll insight, please.
I have an
Secretly
advantage on
Nickelback
that.
fan. And his older self is a Nickelback fan.
I rolled an 18. Is that good enough? I can use a snack point.
Yeah, I think I actually want to re-roll mine. I'm going to go ahead and use a point of spice to try that again.
You can have no secrets, Ez. This is the Ez Tower of secrets.
It just doesn't make sense that Peach would get an 11 on something she's so nosy about.
Sure.
That's much better.
Okay. Husband, do you want to use a point to reroll? I should ask before continuing.
Well, I mean, all they're going to know is that I'm holding something back. They're not going to necessarily know.
So,
yeah, that's fine.
As Esmond is working on the machine, there's this moment where you've seen this before. He very clearly comes to a realization of some kind. You have no idea what it is, but he figured something out. Then he moves on. Okay. Meanwhile, up on the surface, Ishtal and Casey, two of you are scouting.
Casey would be climbing as high up whatever ruined bits are left. Trying to get, bird's eye view.
There's a point where, Casey, you've climbed up somewhere high. Ishtalan, you're searching something. Roll survival.
This wilderness?
No. This is... Man.
Is it still snowing?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a pocket around Casey where it is not snowing.
Ishtalan, you've seen a lot of scarring from burns and blasts, the ruined stone, but you find one place where there's very old, dried blood and a chip in the wall, the kind of thing that happens when a blade hits it.
Do I have an idea of how old this blood is?
Oh gosh, with a 23, more than a year.
Does the chip look similar age? Has it been weathered? Has it been 20 years weathered or a year weathered?
Well, with a 23, you're not sure. It's just more than a year.
What direction was this fight, or whatever happened from the main tower?
Oh, this is in the main tower?
Oh, it's in the main tower. Okay. In the first floor?
Yeah, first floor.
If there's nothing else around the rest of the grounds in the main tower, though.
Okay. Yeah, the two of you continue searching. Just give us a brief little scene. You don't find anything else. So.
Much Ithilon is hanging out with long, swift strides, in her footprints getting rapidly filled up by the falling snow as she patters around, ducking her head in through rubbled archways and looking over fallen walls. At one point, she uses the boots to lift herself up to a higher vantage point to take a quick look around. And I think while she's out there, she might set a few traps for rabbits and things like that. Since she gets the idea that they're going to be there for a while, and if there's any game in the area, then she will find manage herself some food while she's out here too.
While Ishan is walking all around here and there, Casey's perched on the highest part of the ruins like a gargoyle. There's an area around him of about 20 foot radius area around him where the snow is not falling, and he just sits in this pocket. The wind still blows against him, kind of blowing his hair back, and he periodically just sends messages through the mind link to Ishtalan. So, that sad person, what was your take there?
Sounds like nerd shit.
Yeah, but she probably knew how to get in between, you know?
Anyway, she seemed shit. she did not seem to recognize what when Esmond talked about the place between. She did talk about the Raven Queen though, so there's some kind of familiarity there.
Yeah, and she knew that guy too.
Well, I mean, we kind of knew that already since he mentioned her by name before.
Yeah, but I mean, people can know you without you knowing them.
Well, I mean, not everybody talks about people as much as people talk about you, Casey.
Casey, there's an area of the ground around you where the snow's not falling. And at the very edge of it, perhaps a bit of snow has begun to melt. There's a bit of water shining on the stone. Roll a perception check.
That's what's keeping the snow off of him, but here's my perception.
Mm-hmm.
This is my best thing.
Strictly average roll.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna use conflagration point, I believe.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, he sees this shimmer of water and just squints a little bit more. Better.
27. That is. As you look down at the water shimmering on the stone, reflective, and you can see Ishtalan standing there before you. But in the reflection, you see Shalati.
Casey waves his hand by his side. And the puddle of water kind of splashes to the side and gets dispersed. And he turns quickly and starts to go back inside. Come on, it's cold out here.
I don't believe there's anything. You just perched up there like a scarecrow the entire time.
Yeah.
That said, if she has already set the traps along any rabbit trails or anything like that, then she will probably go ahead. Actually, has there been any sign of game or anything there?
No, there hasn't been.
Okay.
But the snow's falling thick, so there wouldn't be.
Okay. Well, she should go back inside.
Okay, they head back. Meanwhile, Esmond What are you researching next?
Question: are we wrapping up soon? Because it's getting really late, Chris.
Yep, we're going to keep going, though. There's 2 more scenes I want to do.
Am I not making?
If I'm done in the baby jar room, then next would be the crystal matrix.
Okay. Roll investigation on that.
I'm going to do what I should have done before and actually re-up on enhance ability, so I will use another second level spell to cast that.
And can he have advantage because Peach is here helping? You get very good research assistant.
Yeah, do you have proficiency in investigation?
I have. Yeah, I mean, no, not an investigation in certain things.
You can't help with this, but there are things you
Okay,
can.
nope, good.
Man, that is unfortunate. I'm going to use...
I mean, Peach did help earlier by giving you a bardic inspiration, though.
I
just remembered that,
did.
yes. What is that?
Thanks, Casey.
What
It's
is
a
that to roll?
D6.
We'll pretend
D6.
that was within 10 minutes. Roll it.
Ah, shoot.
Peach could also give him
Ooh.
another one right now. She's
29.
standing next to him. Yes.
I'll take 29.
29. Nice. Okay, with a 29. I'll let you pick one of these items. Pick 1, 2, or 3. I'll give you subject matter. One of them has to do with Desmond's history. One of them has to do with the memento device. One of them has to do with the nature of magic. Or sorry, the nature of time.
Not that she knows about this, but she would be glaring daggers at him.
Oh, god damn it, this is actually tough. Fuck. I can't help it. I can't help it. I need the history of Desmond.
Oh, morbid curiosity. I love it.
Correct choice. That is also what the fans wanted, the fans being me.
For real? I was like, this is going to be a chapter in Esmond's history and story lore. I'm very excited.
Yeah, looking through the journals, you piece together enough to learn some information.
Oh, Chris gets to send him more secret stuff that we don't learn.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Desmond was a wizard who worked for Lilith in the Kingdom of Lux about 800 years ago. One of his primary responsibilities was doing research on what's the word? Artificery for her magic devices, power sources, usages, applications of magic. He began to make discoveries that were unprecedented. In the city of Lux at the time, there was a position in the Magical Council called a Magister, and of which he was one. He was stripped of his position for his incessant research into a field of magic that was deemed inappropriate and dangerous. And with the 29, that's what you get.
It's fine, we have more time.
And if we run out of time, we can always get another S.
Ooh, too soon.
I'm gonna throw up on you specifically next time.
That is
Sorry,
one
I'm
thing.
trying to cut the tension. It's brutal here. I just been quietly shadowing you for like a while. I gotta say something.
Beth just glares at Peach. Like, what is wrong with you?
There's one thing that
Snack. Sorry, go ahead.
that Ishalon would be curious about. Should go to investigate the dead baby room again, or rather baby jar, and actually find out if they are dead babies or if they are barely suspended animation.
We call them Jar Jar babies.
I hate it, but I love it.
Also, I'm so interested to learn how she's going to investigate this to determine the difference between them.
You're not there.
If the lid is popped, you know that it's been opened before.
The little button.
Yeah. So we'll say your best understanding. Well, roll Arcana. Just maybe get lucky. Perfect.
Right. Well, I think I'm going to re-roll that.
Please keep it, please.
Can you eat this? Can you drink
Yes.
the juice? Is it pickle juice?
Yes.
I didn't
I
roll
will.
one.
I will use a cunning action or cunning. What's it? It's something cunning.
Recovery.
Cunning recovery. Oh my gosh. The natural 20.
The full spectrum.
I'm very cunning.
You move into the room as no one's watching. Perhaps you reach up, grab onto the top where you have the most leverage, and you lean it towards you. Inside, there's a little impact, and you get a close look at what's inside when no one else can see. It looks as though the things in there are dead, perhaps failed early attempts at making the device work. They're twisted, broken, misshapen. There's no power source to these jars, and presumably no way that you would keep something alive. It seems to be preservation for some morbid purpose, perhaps later experimentation.
He gags a little bit, and then looks around and looks back over at the others as they're going about their investigations. Trying to decide if she would take care of them without alerting people or if she would just ask, but it's gonna take me a moment.
As a brief outtake from that, I just want to have stumbled across the room while she's got the tank leaned over, staring into her like, "What are you doing?" And she once again does the cat thing, like nothing, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. Meanwhile, let's say, Ava, you've realized, you've dialed in the last thing that has not yet been investigated, the last of the recording entries.
All right, I guess sort of looks around, see that no one's going to get startled, and at least Esmond can pay attention. Probably everyone else will want to watch it too, and punches it in.
Blue hologram appears again. It is an instance of Esmond. Just 3 years or so older than he is now. This one's pretty close. The haircut's almost the same. But it looks as though the entire arm is prosthetic, not just the hand. Meh. Attempt 491 is another failure. We're close. I'm close. He's close to the signal. Another attempt. We can learn So far, every iteration has reinforced the last. The time is clear. The time that we have left is clear. If I fail this time, the boy can carry on. He's been learning well. We've started younger than we had before. But maybe that'll make all the difference. We're getting better. I'm getting better at pinpointing temporal aura. My temporal aura. I wonder what happens if I... It's for another day. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's begin. Listen 2-4. He pauses. There's a rumble. You hear the echoing sound of a blast from somewhere distant from the recording. What? He pulls out some notes and goes through them. No. This isn't how it happens. The recording flickers and blips for a moment and then changes to a different part of what seems to be the tower. The same version of Esmond leaning against the wall. He's breathing heavily. There's blood pooling on the floor. There's a big burn on the side of his body and half his face. It's closed. Had to be you. Fucking pigeon. And then stepping in the recording is a figure you've never seen before. You seem to be wearing a long cloak, and you see boots kind of step into the very edge of the recording, and the figure kneels down. You see gloves. You see much longer than Ava's, a bird mask and a wide-brimmed hat. You hear a voice, feminine from beneath the mask, as he leans forward. Oh well, it isn't Jack Hallow. He used to be the greatest witch hunter in all the land before he went soft. Esmond spits up some blood. Fuck you. You can tell her, fuck her too. And then this witch hunter reaches up, pulls a knife out of the air. You hear another voice different from beneath the mask. Well, end of the road. Any last words, partner? Esmond sneers a bit. Yeah. Just 3. Activate metronome contingency. And then the witch hunter stabs him through the chest and hits the wall behind him. And the recording ends. And then comes back on for just a moment. No one's in frame. You just see Esmond still. At the very edge of the frame, the very edge of the recording, you can hear a voice and just barely see the edge of a boot. You hear another voice again. Chronomancer's been eliminated. Contact the Peril. Let them know the morale interviews are once again accurate. Returning to the city. And it goes out.
The morale interviews are once again accurate. Ooh.
And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Excellent session.
Time cops.
All right, that was awesome, but I have to go. I have a child's birthday celebration tomorrow morning.
Me too. I gotta crash hard. Good night, folks.
Happy birthday, best of luck. Great session.
Wow.
So contact the Peril?
Contact the Peril. The morale interview
Interviews, yeah.
is active.
Is once again accurate.
Accurate, yeah.
Accurate, thank you. I'm gonna have to rewatch this episode several times. I took no notes.
You were too in it.
I actively was too in it. I could not take notes.
Taking bets now that Esmond's his own grandfather.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome. Esmond is having such a bad time. Oh my god.
But needs to learn a valuable lesson in compartmentalizing and pushing things off until, they force themselves to be addressed.
I thought he had learned compartmentalizing. This is new.
To be fair, this is a fairly confront. When you see lots of deadbit versions of yourself.
Yeah, you're Vivi from Final Fantasy IX. Yeah, getting a bit of that.
You get a little bit of those vibes. Yeah. That. Oh my god.
The recording's off at this point, right?